All right, buckle in, because on December 19th, we're walking straight into the most absurd fight that somehow makes perfect sense. Anthony Joshua, two-time heavyweight champion, Olympic gold medalist, global superstar. Jake Paul, influencer turned fighter with more delusional confidence than a Starbucks espresso shot. And now they're meeting in the middle of a heavyweight division that absolutely did not ask for this. But here's the truth. The insanity of the matchup is exactly what makes this breakdown fun. I'm Reggie Cross, and today we are going behind the lines about how this fight actually plays out and who's getting folded like a beach chair in Miami. You've got a man who's weighed 250 plus in 5 straight fights versus a guy who barely touched heavyweight in a Mike Tyson exhibition. One man is built like a tank. The other is built like a content creator who discovered creatine in 2022. And somehow, they're meeting at 245 pounds with 10-ounce gloves, which means one thing: somebody is getting launched into the spirit realm if the wrong punch lands. Let's break down the tools. Look, AJ isn't the same guy who starched Klitschko under the Wembley lights. But don't get fooled. He's still a problem if you stand in front of him. Here's what AJ still does elite. The jab, heavy, snappy, and accurate. It's not a rangefinder, it's a weapon. The right hand, still nuclear. If it lands clean, you feel every letter of his name. Combination punching. Mid-range is where Joshua shines. 2, 3 shots at a time. Strength. He's a natural heavyweight. Clinches drain your soul. But here's the decline. Reaction time has slowed. Punch resistance isn't what it used to be. After the Dubois KO, AJ fights like a man who double-checks the exits. Feet aren't as light. He sets, he waits, he calculates. That's the version Jake Paul is walking into. Not the peak predator, but still a very, very large man with 25 knockout wins. Here's the part people hate to admit, including me if I'm being honest. Jake Paul can actually fight. Not elite at all, not world championship, but solid fundamentals for a guy who started boxing on a Tuesday. Strengths: a legit right hand, straight, clean, carries real pop. Distance control has improved every year. Better defense early in rounds. Tight guard, stable stance. Cardio way better than expected for a guy who built his career talking, not jogging. Weaknesses: predictable combinations. Limited punch variety. Everything is right hand heavy. When pressured, he squares his feet and his balance goes out the window. And he's never taken a clean heavyweight punch from a prime power puncher. The Tyson exhibition does not count. Tyson is a legend, but an ancient one. Your grandpa is not Anthony Joshua. Joshua coming down to 245 changes everything. When heavyweights cut, they lose water in the skull, slowing fluid recovery. Translation: he's lighter, but maybe not more durable. Jake coming up to heavyweight? He'll be faster, more mobile. But when you pack extra weight on a frame that isn't built for it, your gas tank drains faster and your punch absorption drops. A fully hydrated 240-pound heavyweight hitting a bulked-up cruiserweight is not a fair trade. One man punches like a truck. The other punches like a truck, but one that's missing a wheel. Jake Paul has exactly one way to win this fight: survive, stall, drag AJ deep, make him think instead of react. Jake's hope is psychological, not physical. AJ has shown hesitation. He's shown doubt. If Jake can force AJ into that mental fog, make him overthink his openings, that's when Jake fires the right hand he's been polishing for 4 years straight. Jake needs AJ to slow down, AJ to back straight up, AJ to freeze on counters, and a perfect right hand at the perfect moment. It's the same blueprint Andy Ruiz used. Minus the hand speed, combination volume, experience, and, well, being Andy Ruiz. Let's keep it real. AJ has multiple ways to end Jake's night. He can blast him early, walk him down behind the jab, clinch and drown him with his weight advantage, catch him dipping under pressure, or just uppercut him into another tax bracket. If AJ keeps it simple, this is his fight to lose. He doesn't need to be vintage AJ. He just needs to be slightly annoyed by your presence, AJ. Jake Paul has never, not once, been hit by a punch like AJ's straight right. Fury hit hard. Chavez Jr. may have a little harder. Tyson hit, no disrespect, like a 58-year-old ex-fighter. AJ hits like a man who lifts stadiums for fun. If Jake gets clipped flush, we might be looking at a knockout that gets taught in physics classes. A 245-pound Olympic-level puncher connecting clean with a man jumping 2 weight classes? That's borderline irresponsible. This is where experts get nervous. Not because Jake isn't tough, but because there are weight classes for a reason. Jake should know. He has taken advantage of this for a while now. There is a punch that is going to be overlooked, so let's talk about it here and now. Forget the right hand, forget the jab. The real problem for Jake Paul? Joshua's uppercut. Jake ducks the same way every time he's hurt. Straightforward, head low, hands narrow. That's the exact path AJ used to detonate Klitschko. If Jake bites on a feint and dips, AJ's uppercut is waiting like a trap door. That's the shot that can end it instantly. Okay, now it's time for my prediction. Let's stop pretending. Jake Paul is not hopeless. He's not always a circus act. He has turned himself into a legitimate boxer within his lane. Yet his lane has been to avoid real boxers who pose an actual threat. That changes with this fight. Anthony Joshua is a genetic cheat code when he sits down on his shots. Jake may survive early moments. He may even land a right hand that wakes AJ up. But unless AJ shows up in full identity crisis mode, unless he hesitates, doubts, freezes, and second guesses every punch, this fight ends the way physics intended. Jake can box. AJ can destroy. And when a cruiserweight meets a heavyweight puncher with Olympic caliber mechanics, the outcome is almost always the same. Prediction? Anthony Joshua by knockout. Anywhere between round 2 and round 4. Jake's confidence is loud, but real heavyweight power is louder. So now's your turn. Who you got? Do you think Jake stands a chance, or will Joshua send him into orbit? The fight is scheduled for December 19th in Miami. The fight will air on Netflix, and the world will be watching. Will you? I'm Reggie Cross for Behind the Lines, where we go further into the fight you didn't know you were watching. If you're feeling the vibe, hit that subscribe, and remember, hype fades, legacy don't. Peace. 745 with